All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rachakwadash. I want to send double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations always to the elect, doing this work in sincerity and in truth throughout the four corners, presenting your body as a living sacrifice to do so. This is Brother Call the Mouth coming back once again with another lesson, Lord willing, to feed and edify the lost sheep of the nation of Israel through the Holy Spirit, Rachakwadash. And, I just want to get into the keeping of the law and how we're not going to be justified by the law. Something very basic, but, this is mainly for younger brothers that are coming in, you're being fed with milk. Of course, you understand to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But, the more that you grow and the more that you learn about the law, we understand that this is not how we're going to be granted salvation, okay? Because in this kingdom, this wicked kingdom, America, you see that this place does not uphold the laws of Yahweh Shai. So there's going to be a lot of things that Esau, Edom is going to do, and that's going to plant to make you go against the law. Because Esau knows about the scriptures. He knows who we are, all right? And he understands that his kingdom is not going to be an everlasting kingdom. He understands, like it says in 2 Ezra 9, for like it's all that is made in the world at the beginning and the end, and the end is manifest. He understands through biblical prophecy that his end is near. Okay, the Most High ain't made Esau no dummy, man. He understood this is exactly why the Most High planted that heart in Esau that he did. Okay, so long story short, he's gonna do things. He being Esau Edom, to the self-proclaimed white man, he's gonna do things to make you go against your law, and he's very sly and cunning, man. Okay, so I'm gonna get this first and foremost, and Lord willing, this is edifying, and for you younger brothers, and refreshing, as well as edifying to you brothers that have been a part of this thing, right? So this is first and foremost James, right? Chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend at one point, he is guilty of all," right? So it says, he that is a keeper of the law and is guilty, offending at one point is guilty of all. So this is what the book says. So you can be all for the law, wearing your borders and your fringes, okay, not eating pork, hitting the highways and the hedges, doing all the things that the law commands us to do, okay? But the reason why I say Esau is so cunning, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say that you're catching a bus, all right? And there's a woman that may have been sitting down on the bus that might have been on her issue. When you go back into the Leviticus, it's talking about her menstrual cycle. Okay, these women, they may sit on the bus and sit in a spot to where they make that certain spot unclean, because that the blood of their purification makes them unclean. Okay, they're unclean for 7 days, and anything that they touch and sit upon is considered to be unclean, right? Let's say that you go and sit down in that one spot, unknowingly, that this woman is on her thing, none of that, and you sit in the spot. Guess what? That makes you unclean, and also makes you guilty of breaking the law. So this is why the scriptures say that the law, we're not justified by the law, we're justified by faith. Okay, so I have a few precepts I'm gonna get into, to further justify that the law is important, because we're not saying that the law doesn't matter. Okay, that's not what we teach. We're just teaching the importance of the law in comparison to faith. Okay, so I'm gonna get a few precepts. First, I want to get the book of Romans, chapter 3, and this is one that they use in the Christian churches a lot, man. To justify them doing certain things or eating certain foods. They use the book of Romans, the 3rd chapter, or they use the book of Acts, the 10th chapter, when Peter saw the beast coming down on the sheep. Okay, and they what Christians say is, they say, "Oh, well, that's the Lord just saying that you can eat food. He can what it says, call not thou unclean what I have called clean." All right, which when you get into that, it wasn't talking about food, man. Okay, if you're familiar with Acts the 10th chapter, it's talking about Cornelius. Okay, and him being in a Gentile state of mind, but Peter is going to approach him, okay? And this is what the Lord is talking about, because the Gentiles are the actual Gentiles, those that are non-Israelite, are not our people, okay? But you do have Israelites that are in Gentile state of mind, all right? They don't think of the ordinances of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So that's what it was talking about. Peter don't call thou unclean what I have called clean. And that, who was he talking about? Cornelius. Wasn't talking about food at all, man. All right? So let me get into this, as I ramble on. This is Romans chapter 3 and verse, let's see, verse 28. All right? It says, therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. You know, it says, is he the power of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also. And it's talking about those Israelite Gentiles, all right? Those that were raised under different customs in different countries that don't know that they're Israel or don't keep the customs of Israel, all right? It says, seeing it is one power which shall justify the circumcision by faith and uncircumcision through faith. Do we then make void the law through faith? The Most High forbid. So the law is still very important, okay? This is I'm going to get a precept on that too in the book of Sirach, I believe the 33rd chapter, okay? But it says that do we make then void the law through faith? Most High forbid. Yea, we establish the law, man. Okay, so we uphold the law, but like it said in verse 28 that a man is justified by faith and not the works of the law, man. Because you're not going to be able to keep it all the way 100% as you would like to. You know, and I guess what our forefather Paul said there. He said, that which I do, that do I not allow. You know, roughly paraphrasing, if you know that passage, saying the things that I would like to do, I'm not able to do them. And the things that I do, I want not. You know, and guess what? The things that he wanted to do were things that are of the law. But for one, like I made mention of earlier, we're in this wicked kingdom, okay, where the law is not upheld to a high standard, okay? And on top of that, we're in this flesh, so we're constantly battling things of the flesh. So we do, from time to time, go against the law of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right? But our heart and our mind is in the right place. So let me get this. In the book of Sirach, 33, I believe it's 33. It's 30. 33 and this verse 30, see if there's more to it. Okay. I'll start from verse 2, right? This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 33 and verse 2. It says, a wise man hateth not the law, but he that is an hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle. Because this is how the laws and the statutes and commandments that were given unto the nation of Israel, this is how we were considered that peculiar people in the sight of these different nations. Okay, and it tells you that in the book of Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, right? And it says and this is another fact that what these people do. When I say these people, I mean these Christians and these non-Old Testament believers. They forget that the law, certain things of the law were mentioned in the New Testament. Okay, so there's no way that you can disannul an entire the entire Old Testament. You know, saying that we're not living in the Bible days or whatever they say nowadays, but you know, which is total BS. Okay, so because why believe in God or why pick the Bible up if we're not living in the Bible days? Okay, so let me get this in Deuteronomy 17, and it also tells us in the law, man, that, let me see if this is it. No, that's not it. But no, it tells us that we're supposed to teach these words to our children and our children's children upon their beds, when lying down and when rising up, and that this should be kept forever. Okay, so we keep the law, man. All right, but we know that that's not gonna get us salvation. Okay, because you can keep the law all day. You can be a vehement upholder of the law and not have faith. Okay, it was at the book of Romans, I believe the book of Romans, where it speaks of the law of faith. Okay, and with that faith, it allows you to do the works of the law. That's why it says faith without works is dead being alone, man. Okay, because why? And I'm going to get that. I believe I had that written down. And let's see. I believe that's also in Romans 3. I'll get back to that. First and foremost, I'm going to get into Deuteronomy 17, right? And verse 19. It says, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord Yahweh his power, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them. Right? So this is a commandment to the nation of Israel, that we are to keep the law all the days of our life. Okay? See if I can find that. I believe it's in the book of Numbers. I want to say. 8, call Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. I'm turning right into it. No, this is actually in the book of Deuteronomy as well, chapter 6 and verse. Let's see, I'm start from a good point. And verse 4, right? It says, "Hear, O Israel," all right, because this is who the law, statutes, and commandments will give it unto. Okay, and there will be a time, being the kingdom of heaven, where this law and the statutes and the commandments are really going to be fully established, man. All right, they're going to be, not only are they going to be putting in our inward parts, but it says in the book of Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, that these different nations, they're going to flow into the nation of Israel to for the law and for the commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? But it says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord Yahweh, our power is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord Yahweh thy power with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up." You know, and this is talking about the word of Yahweh Shema Shai. And it's not the law contained in the word. Okay? So this is something we're supposed to teach our kids, man. All right? Just because we know that the law is not going to justify us, are we in this day and age raising our kids to say, "Oh, go ahead, eat pork, man. The Lord, as long as you have faith in the Lord, he's going to take care of you. Go ahead and have sex with Tyrone's girlfriend, man. The Lord ain't looking at that. As long as you have faith." That's not how it works, man. So we uphold the law. We teach the law. Okay? Matter of fact, let me get this in Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. One of my favorite scriptures to bring up concerning this topic, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 17. It says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets." You know, and that proves also that the prophets are still around. Okay? You still have the prophets are still around. The same men that are hitting the highways and the hedges, hitting the corners every week, doing videos every day, these are the prophets. You know, those that are proclaiming the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, that are talking about the prophecies, all right, the things to come. All right, these are the prophets of the Lord. These men still exist, and they are of the nation of Israel. All right, the true prophets, because you have false prophets too. And the false prophets, not only people who are not teaching right, but also those people of different nations, man. You ain't no real prophets. The Lord ain't sent you. All right, but reading on, it says, "I am come not to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled." And all is not fulfilled, man. Okay? Everything is not, all the prophecies of Yahweh Shema Shai have not came to pass. All right? We're waiting on prophecies, and we have prophecies written in the Old Testament that we're waiting to come to pass, man. Okay? So it says this, "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." Right? And this, you know, when everything is established in the kingdom of heaven, we're indwelt with righteousness, guess what? Them same men that were, abating the law, the same people that were abating the law, these are going to be lower level Israelites in the kingdom. They're still going to be above every heathen nation because you're still in the nation of Israel. But you're going to be a low level Israelite, man. Okay? Because you didn't uphold the law, statutes, and commandments, the word of Yahweh Shema Shai, but made excuses according to your will on why you shouldn't keep the law or why others shouldn't keep the law. Okay? It says, "For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven." Right? So now I'm going to let me see, back into that book of Romans. 3. It might have been in Galatians. Let's see. Lord willing, I'll find that. Because Galatians, the 3rd chapter, goes right into the law, man. Which I'm going to get into some of that. Not the entire chapter, because the entire chapter, you read the book of Galatians, the 3rd chapter, it shows you how simple of a topic this is, man. You know, it breaks down the law, and it breaks down how we're not going to be able to keep the law, and the law is not going to justify it. Let me see, did I write this down? All right. So, no, I didn't write it down, but no, merely paraphrasing, there's a passage, Lord willing, I find it. We're just talking about how the righteousness of the law, how you have it was set up as a stumbling block for people who are super pro law, okay, and they don't have no faith, okay. Lord willing, I'll post it in the post production. If it comes up, then I'll bring it out. If the Spirit brings it back to me, I'll bring it out. I'm gonna get this in the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4. This is chapter 4. Chapter 4. All right, this is bear with me. Jeez. All right, so like I had to start this over. Yeah, but this is going into the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 17. Also another precept showing the importance of the law on Yahweh Shem Shai, right? And just to keep in mind, man, what we do, though we teach the law and we say to uphold the laws, it says in Romans 3:31 that we establish the law. All right, we're not hell bent on the law. If he that have an ear to hear, let him hear. Okay, we understand that the law was brought in as a schoolmaster, and in fact, I'll get that after this in the book of Galatians, which essentially concerning the law. This lesson is revolving around Galatians, the 3rd chapter, which shows you, in a nutshell, it says, hey, we're not justified by the law. We're not going to be saved by the law. All right, the law this, the law that, but we were saved by faith, and I'm going to get into it, And I'm not gonna get the entire chapter, but I'm gonna get a good point and expound on it. So this is 2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 17. It says this. It says, "For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of the Most High Yahweh," right? "But the time following shall declare these things." So it says that it's not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of the Most High. Oh, we justified by faith. Oh, we don't need the law. Oh no, this and that. Nah, we still need the law. We still got to keep it. So it's not a light thing, because why would it say in Sirach, the 8th chapter, that not one sin should go unpunished? And what is sin? Transgression of the law, right? So we definitely need to keep the law to our best abilities and pray that Yahweh Shem Shai sees our sincerity, okay? Because that's what it's about. Because Esau Edom's going to make sure that you fall off. He's going to do anything that he can to pull you off your rocker, all right? So this is Galatians chapter 3, and let's see, verse 19. It says, "Wherefore then serveth the law? It was added because of transgressions. Till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, being the nation of Israel, because that promise was made unto our forefather Abraham, which had our forefather Isaac, which had our forefather Jacob, okay, which Jacob's name was changed unto Israel. And we are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. We're the offspring of the nation of Israel, all right, being the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans by blood, man. All right, so that promise was made to us through our forefather Abraham, man. All right, it says, "And was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator." Now, mediator is not a mediator of one, but the Most High is one. All right, is the law then against the promises of the Most High? The Most High forbid. For if there had been a law if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law. But the Scripture have concluded all under sin. Why? Because we do things, we go off from time to time, man. That's why it says the law was added because of transgressions, right? It says the Scripture have concluded all under sin, all right, transgressing of the law. that the promise by the faith of Yahweh Shah Mashiach might be given to them that believe. And, and you see who believes in this day and age, okay? The men that are keeping the law, that understand that they can't keep the law fully, but they're putting all their tokens in one basket with Yahweh Shema Shai, and their tokens is what? The sign of faith. You know how they have that saying in the world, put all your eggs in one basket. Well, we're putting all our treasures. We're laying all our treasures in one bank. We're investing in one bank, and that bank is Yahweh Shema Shai, man. All right, we're investing in that. That's where all our eggs are going, man. All right. So it says, but before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto faith, which should afterwards be revealed. Because there was a time when we kept the law heavily, man. Okay, but then it says what? By the Lord knowing how the times are going to change over time, He said, he put this in here not as a disclaimer, but for us to understand that we ain't gonna be able to keep the law all the way. Because guess what? There's going to be, according to the book of Maccabees, First Maccabees, the first chapter, it says that wicked men shall come into the earth. And these wicked men are going to set up their own laws that conflict with mine. Okay? And I say, and by a long shot, the laws that are set by these evil men, they're in no way, form, or fashion better than the Lord's. But the Lord knew that we were but flesh. He know that Jacob's going to conform to evil ways. It said he made man upright, but he sought out many inventions. So the Lord put this in here, man. Okay? So it says, wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Hamashiach, that we might be justified by faith. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster, man, because it says what? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Okay, so we didn't need the law to see that we had a kingdom coming. Okay, we didn't need the law to know that Yahweh Shah was going to come back and he was going to wreak havoc on this place. Okay, but by faith. Okay, and in Hebrews, read the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter. Okay, in its entirety. All right, and that'll clear everything up for you, man, because you have many different notable men that kept the faith of Yahweh Shema Shai, and it was counted unto them for righteousness, man. Okay. Abraham paid tithes. That's of the law. Just thought about that, right? It says, for we are all the children of the Most High by faith in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and that all is talking about Israel, man, because all are not the children of the Lord. You have three parts of men. You had the sons of the wicked, being Esau, Edom. You have the sons of men, being the heathen nations, and you have the sons of the Most High, all right, which is the Israelites. All right, we are the Most High's children. Okay, they're merely the Most High's creation. Okay, and the Most High can do what He wants to do with them still, but we are the inheritance, the dwelling place for Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, it says for as many of you as have been baptized into Hamashiach have put on Hamashiach. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female, for all are one of Hamashiach. And that Jew and Greek, the Jews are simply men who understood they were Israelites. The Gentiles were those who were actual Israelites by seed, but didn't keep the ways of the Israelites, or didn't, or maybe you had some that didn't know that they were Israelites. All right. So it says, and if ye be Hamashiachs, then are you Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. So, the point was, let me jump up to verse 11, right? This is Galatians 3 and verse 11. It says, but that no man is justified in the law, in the sight, by the law in the sight of Yahweh, the Heavenly Father Yahweh. It is evident, it is evident, the just shall live by faith. The law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. Plain and simple, man. Read that again. It says, and the law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them, being the law, shall live in them, man. So we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We have faith that these things lead to a better promise, lead to a better life, lead to longevity of life, lead to a healthier life, okay? A healthier way of living, okay? So, hey, just that was it to drive the point home for me, man. All right, there's more scriptures that I have written down, but the point has been made. You know, that we are not justified by the law, but by faith. You know, and we're to keep that faith, especially in this day and age, man, where E is coming down with all types of hell, according to the book of Revelation 12:12. Okay, you got these different forms of validation. Okay, you got you see the price of gas is constantly going up. Okay, Esau he's causing many great things through the spirit of power. How about Shema Shai? Of course, he's causing some of these prophecies to come to pass. You know, so we definitely got to hunker down and pray that how about Shema Shai got us, because we knew this time was coming. All right. So with that being said, Lord willing, you are edified. When you give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Chakodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the elect. Shalom.